Today is Friday, November 11th. I'm Colin Yake.
And I'm Brittany Brown with this week's TCTV News Update. This week's show features athletics here at Thiel College with highlights from this fall and a look ahead to winter and spring sports. A new sport has arrived at Thiel College, women's bowling. The team has recently joined the AMCC and the season is just underway. Their current record is 0-3, but that isn't going to get these ladies down. With 4 more matches to go in this fall and the Red Flash Open set to take place in January at St. Francis University in Crescent, I'm sure these ladies are going to make a comeback. The next match is November 18th at Mid-Eye College in Buffalo, New York. Coach Dan McMillan had this to say about the team.
Women's bowling is a fairly new sport to Thiel College. It's only 2 years old now, right?
Correct.
Is there anything you'd like to tell us about the sport, or we should know about the sport?
It's actually probably the up-and-coming sport in NCAA sports. The women's side of it's kind of new to everybody. Everybody always had the men's bowling team, but the women's bowling team is kind of taken off. It's helping with a lot of people with the Title IX requirements to get more women athletes on campus. But it really is, I mean, it's exciting. If you ever go to a tournament or if you ever go to the dual meets, there's a lot of energy, a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of cheering. It's not your quiet birthday party type bowling. And there is some pressure involved in it, and I think that's why. I mean, you can bowl all day and put yourself in a position where you need 9 pins to win it all. So, you know, the better bowlers and the better teams go through that. And there is a mental side to bowling and everything. So it's been a good experience for the girls and for the coaches. So.
In the NCAA, right?
This is our second year in the NCAA. It's our first year in the Allegheny Mountain Conference.
Right. So do you see more growth for the team coming up? So more team.
Absolutely. There's 8 girls on the team right now. Most of the women's teams carry to between 10 and 12 bowlers. So we're trying to get to that level. You bowl 5, you count 5 scores, but to get through the tournaments and everything, you need 10 to 12 bowlers because it is an all-day event. So. One of the other things about bowling is Division 1, 2, and 3 all bowl together. There's no classification, so it makes it a little tougher on the Division 3 teams.
So what are your goals for this season then for the team?
To establish ourselves in the conference. This is our first year we've had an opportunity to be all conference as a team, all conference as individuals, participate in senior days, you know, all types of most strikes, most spares, all those things that go along with being in a conference. So we want to get a conference standing that, you know, that we work for, that we, you know, respected. So I think that's our biggest goal. Up till now, we've won dual matches and tournaments, and it's kind of like you go there, you're excited, but you leave it there. Now we're in a continuation process throughout the season because it's all accounted for or accumulated throughout the season.
Both the men's and women's cross country featured a new coach in Will Mills, who has high expectations for the team. Senior Summer Work led the women's team with an 11th place finish at the Grove City Invitational in September. Senior John Clark placed 35th for the men. The Thiel Tomcats sent 10 runners to the PAC Cross Country Championships, with Work leading the Tomcats and finishing 14th, and John Clark led the men's team in the 8,000-meter run, finishing 29th. Thiel will compete in the NCAA Division III Mid-East Regional Championships this weekend. Thiel sent 9 golfers to the PAC Championships this October. After the conclusion of the first day of matches, the Tomcats landed in 6th place. The team was to remain in this position after the second and final round. Junior Jason Thorpe led the Tomcats, shooting a 79 to finish tied for 16th place. Coach McMillan says they have a lot to work on to get ready for the spring season. He shared some more thoughts about the golf team and its development between the seasons with reporter Cory Lang.
Well, we lost a lot last year on the men's side of things. We lost 2 starters who had played 4 years. So we took the fall as kind of a rebuilding program for them. But I think they did really well. Jason Thorpe, Will Milady kind of led it. We picked up with Jonathan Loomis as a senior, gave us some leadership there. And then Cody Hefner, a freshman, and Colton McCray, a sophomore, come in and helped us out on the men's side. But I think they're ready for spring. That's one thing about golf. We play fall and spring, so the fall is kind of your non-traditional season, they call it. So I think we're ready to go on that end. They gained the experience they needed. On the women's end, kind of the same. We lacked some experience there. We picked it up in the fall. But Alyssa Mondell did a great job. She's in position again to be all conference. And the other 3 are following her right along. So it's very good.
Is there anything you saw this fall season that you want the team to work on to be better in the spring season?
Definitely the short game. You know, in golf, the swing, everybody gets all excited about that, and they want to hit the ball far, and they work on it in the dome. But your scoring comes from your short game. That's putting and chipping, and that's the end we got to work on. I think we're right there as far as striking the ball and our range work and everything, but we got to put more into our short game on both sides, the men and the women's side.
Now, what is your main goal as the golf coach? What do you want to achieve for the golf team?
Bottom line, it's Division III sports, and I tell every recruit that comes here, the best thing we can do for you is get you a job. Second thing is, they got to get good grades. They got to do good in the classroom, and obviously they'll get a good job if that happens. Thirdly, the athletics, the golf slides in behind all that. So it's a total overall experience. Yes, it's great to come here and play golf. We want you to do good. We want you to be all-conference. We want you to be an All-American, but we also want you to get a job. So I think the two together make a complete student-athlete.
Last December, Thiel welcomed Dan Bloom as the new head coach of the football team. With a record of 2-8 last year under Coach Kurt Reiser, the team was surely looking to improve. The Tomcats currently sit at 3-6. This Saturday, November 12th, they head to Grove City to compete for the Mercer County Cup. The Tomcats defeated the Wolverines last year with the coveted trophy stay in Greenville for another year.
As the season is coming to an end, how would you describe your first year as head coach?
It's had its ups and downs. I'd say it's successful as a whole. I think we're coming along as a football program. We're getting better each week, which is what we talk to our guys kind of each week. Get better each play, get better each day, get better each week, and I think we've successfully done that. So I'd say it's been a pretty successful season, even though our record may not dictate that necessarily.
All right, so pretty sure you heard all the noise about the Mercer County Cup and how much it means. So how are you preparing for that this week?
We're trying to take it game by, it's another game, but it is a big game. It's a rivalry game. It's a game that has implications in recruiting. We know they're going to come out ready, so I think it's going to be a hyped game, a big game where kind of anything can happen, and we're just preaching to our guys to try to be prepared and be ready for anything and do the best job we can preparing them.
All right, and so after you got the first year under your belt, where are your goals for the second season? How do you kind of prepare?
I think we've kind of started to instill the culture that we're looking to have with our program. So we're looking to have a good off season with our weight training program and our guys getting ready. And then next year, hopefully, we're coming in. We're more experienced, we're more developed, and we can kind of take it and win a few more games because we're going to have guys that have had experience winning, been in our system, and we can kind of continue to bring things along.
All right, I'm Robert Thompson here with Coach Bloom at Alumni Stadium. Good night.
Clearly, this is a new era of football at Thiel. The goal for Bloom is to keep the culture and keep improving. The women's tennis team finished the season 2-10, an improvement from their 1-11 finish in the 2015. The girls defeated Waynesburg 7-2 early in the season, and they went on to defeat Bethany 9-0 in October. They finished 7th out of 9 teams at the PAC Championships later that month. The team featured strong play from 3 seniors, Sarah Matzak, Lauren Wolf, and Mercedes Quarles. Men's tennis kicks off their season this spring. They finished 2-8 in the 2017 spring season. With lacrosse season right around the corner, coaches and players are busy preparing for their upcoming seasons. The men's team finished the 2015 season 10-4 with a young team of talented players. They are looking to improve their record this year. Head coach Jeff Arneson joined us in the studio to talk about what he foresees to be a tough but rewarding season.
The lacrosse team finished 10-4 last season. Do you foresee any improvements for this year?
I do. We brought a big freshman class in. I think we ended up with about 19 overall, and brought back some very talented upperclassmen. So we're still relatively young. Only have one natural senior this year. 40-point player for us last year, so hopefully we'll see some improvement with him. I think our schedule as a whole is pretty similar. It's a little bit tougher than I think it was last year, so it'll be a little more challenging. But I think with the talent of freshmen we brought in, realistically, I think we should have just as good of a year. If not, I think realistically we have the potential of doing it better.
Who do you think is going to be your toughest opponent this season?
I would say Transylvania again, just like last season. Winning the conference last year. I know they didn't really graduate too many big players for them. The returning of first-team all-conference goalie and a few other players that did really well for him last year. And I know they do a great job recruiting. So realistically, I would say that they're going to be definitely one of the best teams in the conference again this year. I think as a schedule as a whole, I think they're definitely one of the best teams on our schedule as well.
The team recently held a prospecting camp. What was all involved in that, and what was the turnout?
It was a pretty solid turnout. It wasn't the best weather, unfortunately. Surprising for the weather this fall. It was definitely one of the worst days we've had at this point. But it's basically just underclassmen, seniors, juniors, and sophomores come on campus, get the opportunity to spend some time with the team, the coaching staff, and we basically run them through a college practice, and then kind of get them up and down the field with some scrimmaging and some one-on-one attention from us coaches, and a little bit of the upperclassmen kind of getting involved as well. But it really just kind of gives them an opportunity to get some insight, on our lacrosse program at Thiel, and the school itself.
And then finally, what are you most excited about for this upcoming season?
This is the first year we'll have an automatic bid for the NCAA tournament, so it's a really big year for us. I know it's something that we've been working for the last 7 years, and that was the whole reason of us joining the ORLC, was for this opportunity. And that being our first year, it's a big year in the sense that not only do we win a conference championship, we'll have the opportunity to move on to the NCAA tournament, which will obviously be a challenge in itself, but it's definitely a big year for us, and I know it's something that all us coaches in the conference are really looking forward to. Being able to get that opportunity consistently for the next 4 years.
The women's team finished with 11 wins last spring. They welcomed Tim Prisky as their new head coach this season. The ladies are also working hard to pull off another winning season. Lacrosse season officially kicks off in February.
The women's volleyball team, coached by Kelly Barzak, completed their season at the end of October with an overall record of 12-19. This came as a major improvement from last year, where the Tomcats won just 3 games. A mix of youth and experience fueled the Tomcats' turnaround season. Sophomore Peyton Allen led the charge for the Tomcats this season with 275 kills. Senior Jenny Shelley led in assist with 691. Junior Megan Sweeney recorded 569 digs and was recently named a PAC Honorable Mention selection. Overall, the team was much more competitive than previous seasons. Basketball is under the way at Thiel. The Lady Tomcats and Coach Rob Clune prepare for another basketball season. Clune is entering his 5th season as the women's head coach. Last year, the Lady Tomcats finished 4-21 last season. With experience from the upperclassmen, they plan to turn things around this season. The Lady Tomcats are looking for an early win against the Hiram Terriers at the season opener next Tuesday, November 15th. The game is at home and begins at 5:30.
The men's basketball team has plenty of confidence coming into this season, despite having no current seniors this year, but they do have 5 returning juniors, including Tyreek Burton and Josh Lumbus. They begin their season next Tuesday, November 15th at Penn State Barron in Erie. The men's volleyball team, coached by Adam Rosh, will be looking to improve on an 11-14 season last winter. The Tomcats boast a group of experienced upperclassmen that includes 6 seniors. Senior Cody Patterson tallied 193 kills last season. His average of 3.36 kills per set is the 3rd best in Tomcat history. Senior Zach Rombaugh will also be a key player for the Tomcats after finishing last season with 539 assists and 150 digs. Rombaugh led the team in both categories last season. The wrestling team ended their season strong last year with a 9-10 record, and they are projected to win their 3rd straight PAC title this year. Head coach Craig Thurber spoke with us about what he expects as their season kicks off.
Coach Thurber, your Tomcats were selected number 1 in the PAC preseason wrestling poll and also earned 6 of 9 first-place votes. How does it feel to receive this honor?
It feels good. I mean, we have a good group of kids coming back. We have some good leadership, a lot of good freshmen coming in. So, I mean, it feels good to receive the honor. I know the W&J and Waynesburg have good teams, and it's a long way. And Thomas More with their new coach, I know they had a lot of freshmen come in, so we're expecting them to be. They're solid in all their other sports. We're expecting them to be, good as well. So if we can stay healthy, I think we can, have a nice season and hopefully win the PAC again. It's always one of our it's always one of our goals throughout the year. So I think if, like I said, with the leadership that we have and, some younger kids, and we can stay healthy, we'll have a solid season. And, it's nice to have people, vote for you, I think, but it's one of those things where we just have to keep showing up every day, working hard, and, see how things end up.
I'm Colin Yake. Thanks for watching this week's TCTV Sports Update. Nearly all of the video and other images presented during today's newscast were provided by the Sports Information Department here on campus. They do a fantastic job of covering our student athletes throughout the entire year.
On behalf of the entire TCTV crew, we'd like to especially thank the Director of Sports Information, Ed Topolowski, and Assistant Director, Sorrel Parham. I'm Brittany Brown, reminding you to visit our YouTube channel, Thiel TCTV, to view this newscast and other student productions.